Hi Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your October 1st to the 15th, 2020 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be located in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from your body like storm clouds. Feeling yourself become calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. Claiming your voice and claiming your power. Moving forward in your truth. All right, so let's let the bulls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Sagittarius, October 1st to the 15th, 2020 Sagittarius. 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 Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly, guide this reading, and show me clearly. Ooh, that's a nice chunk. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh, okay. Hold on. Just like this. All right. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Awesome. Now I have to say, the singing bowl was rather quiet while, we were making it sing. And so here it shows that there is a stepping into your voice. And this has been something I'm seeing a lot with this October time period. It is finding our voice, it is claiming our voice, it is stepping out of fear and out of doubt and into a calm and into a patience with ourselves that we might have lost over time. It could be over the experiences that we've been through in a world in general and for our own personal selves. So this is a very powerful time. This is a very transformative time. And I really see this for you really taking on that warrior time for you. And it doesn't mean that it's going to be another battle, another battle, another battle. It means that, Spirit is saying you've honed your weapon, and not in a cruel way, but in a way of honing your soul, looking at yourself, feeling more empowered, and stepping into a greater power than you had realized before. So let's see what your chakra energy is, because I'm really curious. Sagittarius, October 1st to the 15th, 2020 Sagittarius. October 1st to the 15th, 2020 Sagittarius. October 1st to the 15th, 2020 Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels, ooh, goodness, and spirit guides. Okay, so this is a huge chunk. And Spirit is saying the first and the middle, which would be like here. Okay, there we go. So we're starting off with one of my favorites, the I Am Presence. I Am Presence is the crown chakra, right? And this is our narrative for ourselves. I am strong. I am bountiful. I am prosperous. I am a success. I am, beautiful, handsome. However you interpret positivity, it is embracing that positivity. I am enough, right? It is knowing that I am enough. Where I stand in this world now, as I am moving forward, I have what I need to forge the path that I want. And you might be sitting there and saying, Dane, if you knew how hard it was, if you knew how long I have suffered under burdens and doubts and fears and anger and, just everything being thrown at me time and time again, you wouldn't say I was enough. And what I'm going to tell you is that you're not a mistake. So often we think that we are mistakes. When I was little, I was a little bit blind, a little bit deaf, and then once I got that fixed, I am one of the most severe dyslexic you will ever meet, which people usually sit there and go, oh, well, that's not bad. But I couldn't read till I was 15. It was very bad. And so here, there is that sense of feeling like I'm not. And that's what Spirit is showing me. I'm not enough. I'm not there. I'll never be there. I was a mistake. You're not a mistake. Knowing that and having that to empower you is something that's beautiful. The I am presence is the crown that we wear. Our crown chakra, what I've come to think of our crown chakra as, is the crown that we wear upon our heads. Is it tarnished? Is it broken? Or is it a beautiful crown? It can be just a circlet that you wear on top of your head. It can be very demure, very understated, but it denotes power, and it is your power. It doesn't have to be a fancy gaudy thing, though it can be if that's what you want. It can be ornate and beautiful and proud and loud and be you. But what are you crowning yourself with? Because you are moving from being a victim to being a victor, and you are leaving behind the victim. And you are seeing that you are what you need to move yourself forward, to pull yourself out of darkness or doubts or fears or anger and upset and feeling as if you'll never get there, and stepping into that power and stepping into that beauty, that you were put here for a reason. And Sagittarius, you're a seeker. That's what you are. You dive deeper and deeper and deeper. And so here with the I am presence, it's like I'm on that path. I'm learning this truth. I am walking in my light and in my reason. And then it leads you to listening, the throat chakra. As we're finding our voices, we can sit there and think, okay, I find my voice by talking louder and louder than everybody else. The world does that. We can see that so profoundly today. I'm just going to talk over you until you are forced to listen to me. No. Listen. Listening is a form of respect. It's a respect for yourself, for where you want to be, for what is being said, for the nuances of things, and to hear them. Listening is listening to your own body, listening to your own soul, listening to you. And it's opening up the door. This is the throat chakra. This is how you walk forward. And if you're listening, it starts to become part of your superpower, because most people don't listen anymore. They demand, they yell, they scream, but they don't listen. And they don't come to things with compassion. Sagittarius, you are the most compassionate of the fire signs. Coming to the fire of this world and the passion of yourself, with the ability to listen to not only you, but to those around you, that's big. That is really, really big. It leads you then to truth. Again, the throat chakra. Speaking your truth, balancing your truth, understanding your truth. Your truth is going to be paramount of importance. It's not going to be, I'll just go along with this because it'll be easier. It's like, no, this is my truth. This is where I stand, and this is what I stand for. This is who I am. And it's having trust in you. Trust that you're not doing this wrong. Just because you're different does not mean you're wrong. Embrace your difference and move forward in what is true for you. Listen to the world around you and see where it is that you want to stand. It then moves you to creativity. Now, this is the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is where we hold a lot of negativity from this life and from past lives. When you are having this creative energy around you, the sacral chakra is also sexual energy. It's the energy of creation. So as it moves through you, it is a sense of embracing. It is a sense of being emboldened. It is a sense of looking at things more openly and more honestly for yourself, as you create the world that you want. And as you really look at what is holding you back, what have you inherited, what negativity was spoken over you that made you think you couldn't, that made you think this road was going to be so much harder, or made you see this road is so much harder for you than it is for everybody else. Here's the thing. Everybody carries their burdens. What did Plato say? Be kind, because, I'm paraphrasing, but it's like, because the man standing next to you is carrying burdens that is harder than you know. And so here, it is a sense of understanding that everybody has this struggle, has this fear around them, and has the stagnation of their own creative, energy that is moving them towards something greater. And so when you look at things like that, it can help you not take things personally. It can also help you focus on your own creative energy to move forward, to embolden, to enlighten, to embody what it is that you desire. And it's looking at the things that have held you back, that have made you doubt yourself, and saying, no, I stand in my creative truth, and I let this energy flow through me. And I do not doubt me. On the left-hand side, this is your inner self. The middle is your heart, your emotional self. The right-hand side is your public arena, your public self. So let's see what they have to say. Well, we start off with the Ace of Pentacles. This is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing you a gift of prosperity and handing you a gift of bounty that is moving you to the next level. The archway is really standing out. And then you have the Tower. The Tower is a time period of change. This could be a time where kind of like your mind is blown. You're like, oh my gosh, I've never seen it that way. You're moving out of your comfort zone because divinity is saying you have to move out of your comfort zone. It's time to look at things bigger, better, bolder. It's time to see more. And it might not feel bigger or better or anything like that. It can actually feel astoundingly aggravating. Tower times, people sit there and go, oh, I'm going through a tower time. And it means that they're going through a time of heartbreak and pain and disappointment and, anger and upset. A tower time doesn't have to be that drastic, though it can be. And for a lot of us, when we go through our tower times, it is astoundingly forging, because it is a forging time. It is a time where divinity says, you know what, it's time to get out of your comfort zone. It's time to expand. And because we're human beings and we like things kind of comfortable, if not comfortable, at least routine, kind of the hardship, type of thing. And this is divinity pushing you out of your comfort zone. And this is you seeing a world, seeing a way forward, seeing and gaining an understanding that you never would have had without it. This tower time could be lasting 16 years. I mean, it doesn't have to start now. It could be 16 years ago. It started. And then you have the Devil card. The Devil is Capricorn energy, December 22nd to January 19th. Now, this is your cusp, okay? If you're born on the cusp if you're born at the end of the Sagittarius time frame, on the cusp with Capricorn, this is going to come through very intensely. This sense of, are you moving forward the right way? This sense of temptation towards addictions. Now, it can be the traditional addictions that are really, looked at and notarized, seen. But it can also be, and those would be drugs, alcohol, and gambling. But this can also be the addictions that deteriorate the quality of our life, the way that we move forward. So whatever it is that holds you back, you're looking at the chains, and it's like, no, because then you start to become a ruler of yourself, of your soul, with the King of Cups. Again, for those of you born on the cusp, this time with Scorpio, this is going to come out very strongly. Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer are water sign energies. You have the Four of Cups coming forward. God, source, spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, is handing you a gift. It is not going to be what you expect. It's not going to be this shiny, beautiful gift that we always like, perfectly wrapped. It's going to be something much more kind of everyday, much more common. But it's going to have a tremendous change on us. So your heart is being handed a gift. Emotionally, you're being told here, don't fight every battle. Stand your ground, know your truth, yes, but don't fight every battle because it's too much, it's too overwhelming. Finding a balance. You're trying to balance everything, Sagittarius. Everything that is important to you. Emotions run high. You're not remembering to balance yourself. You have Virgo energy right here, a time frame of August 23rd to September 22nd. And this is a sense of turning inward. Your heart is turning inward to not only see the gifts that are coming to you, to see your strength, but also to move forward in the way that is right for you and not the way that everybody else demands. we have the Six of Wands moving forward in celebration, success, bounty, and beauty in the public arena, which is gorgeous. Your hard work paying off. It's the light that shines down on you. It's what you're moving forward towards. Others try to take, try to claim responsibility for it, but it's your hard work. It's what you have gone after. And yeah, I'll show this to you in a minute, but it's like the stained glass. It lets through the light, but it lets it through colored in a different way, right? So here it is the prosperity that is coloring you. Then we have Aries energy with the Emperor. This is a time frame of March 21st to April 19th. This is claiming your throne, knowing your power. This is your truth, your determination. This is saying, yeah, you're human, you've messed up. We all have. Anybody who tells you they haven't is out and out lying. But as you claim your throne and know your truth and know what you desire, you are connecting with the bigger picture of what you stand for and where you want to be. Justice is coming in, Libra energy, September 23rd to October 22nd. And this is a sense of cutting through doubts and fears and balancing the scales, which from the Two of Pentacles, we know that the heart does need a balance with the prosperity offered in the material world, but also with the prosperity that you're going after within your life. So let's see here the people who will aid you during this time. Sagittarius, October 1st to the 15th, 2020 Sagittarius. October 1st to the 15th, 2020 Sagittarius. October 1st to the 15th, 2020 Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Oh, fantastic, these three. So we start off with the Queen of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. This is embracing what you love. This is a person who helps you see what you love, but in a more gentle, more kind of quote-unquote feminine energy way. Now, this is interesting because I'm seeing Mother Earth. And the thing with Mother Nature, right, is that Mother Nature can be absolutely fierce. We have tornadoes, we have earthquakes, we have, things that cannot be controlled. And then we also have the nourishing earth that brings us our food, that supports us as we walk and create our lives. And so here, there is a sense that this person, and these people don't have to be people in real life. This energy can touch you in any way. Just being open to it is going to help you move forward, right? This person has a ferocity to them that you wouldn't expect. But there is a kindness, there is a gentleness, there is a compassion to them too. There's a sense of nurturing. But there is also a sense here with this Tower energy. It's like this person can be talking about a time or dealing with things that have shaken you to your core, that have made you look at the world differently, made you look at yourself differently, because lightning is part of nature, right? And it has been mind-blowing for you, the way that you're moving forward. It can also be a looking at the strength and the compassion that you have, and the homes for both. Then we have the Prince of Swords. This is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is charging forward. This is cutting through doubts and fears. This is somebody who you might actually find acts a little bit too quickly. Like you might sit there and be like, oh, calm down just a little bit. But there is a sense here with this person of, they charge forward, they go after what they want, and they're going to kind of inspire you, Sagittarius, to really... They're going to feed your fire just a bit and inspire you forward. Don't move too quickly, because you and the Prince of Swords, the Knight of Swords, you guys are the fastest moving knights, in the tarot. So it's kind of like you can egg each other on. It's like, oh yeah, I can do this, and oh yeah, I can push further, and I can push further. Here, you don't want to push so hard that you wind up really hurting yourself, that you wind up, pushing to exhaustion. So make sure that you're being kind with yourself, and make sure that the knowledge that is coming in is being digested, being looked at, and then, embracing the truth, the passion, and the brilliance that you want. We then have here the Prince of Wands. So that's exactly it. It's you and the Prince of Swords. So this is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You have strong Aries right here. And this is a person who is passionate, determined, really, you connect with this person really well, because they share the same fire as you. They really do. They share that fire. They share that, that passion, that determination. And you're going to think, yeah, I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to go after. You want to put planning behind it. You do. You want to, not go off kind of half-cocked. And where that saying comes from is back in the day, in the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, and I'm talking about American history here, where you loaded your guns, right? You had to pull back the cock of the gun all the way, right? Because if not, the gun would blow up in your face. And in the middle of battle and in the middle of everything, a lot of guys did not pull back their guns all the way. And that was devastating. It just was. So here, it's kind of like in your rush to get everything done around the chaos that is our lives, right? Make sure you're taking the time to prepare yourself properly, to arm yourself properly. And again, it doesn't mean in a violent way. It simply means in a spiritual, loving, compassionate way to defend why you are here on this earth and not to give your power to anybody else. Because God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, is handing you a gift of prosperity, is handing you a gift of bounty. And I don't know what your subconscious message is going to be. But right now, you're not taking this gift yet. I don't have the Magician or any of the court cards of the Pentacles. So here, it is permeating everything for you. This gift of prosperity, this gift that you know that you are moving forward towards something so much more powerful, something so much more beautiful, something so much more. And we like to think of this as money. And as much as I would love you, I would absolutely love it if you had a windfall just fall into your lap, like lottery winning, inheritance type of thing. For a lot of us, that doesn't happen. So here, it is wealth, or it is what you value as much as money coming in, blessing you, seeing the way that you want to move forward, the seeds that you want to plant, the prosperity that you want within your life. And it's opening this world up to you. It's opening this passion, this power, this insight, these ideas. And as you're looking at it, you're looking at you so much more openly and so much more honestly. And you're saying, where is it that I want to be? What is it that is the most important thing to me? What is it that I desire, I want, I need from my life? What are the seeds that I want to plant? And divinity is really opening that question up to you. Your soul is sitting there and saying, what do I want? And it's really after this tower time. Now, this tower time can be the state of the world right now. I mean, definitely. That is a time that has shaken all of us out of our comfort zones, right? And has had us look at things completely differently. And so here, and it can be what you have been going through. You might sit there and say, this isn't the worst storm that I have weathered, type of deal. And so here, it is looking at the heartbreaks, the pains, the disappointments, the upsets, the upheavals that we have been through. And it's looking at them and saying, yeah, I can be upset about this. Yeah, I can have my mind blown and have been looking at things so differently because I've been through this change. And this is a change that divinity says, ready or not, here it comes. This is part of the purpose why you are on this earth. And it rocks your world. It really does. It can shake you down to your very core. But it has you seeing things so differently afterwards. And for your path and for your purpose. And I don't know what that is, It is opening up horizons. And sometimes what we want to say is, why does it have to be this hard? Why does it have to be this hard? And a lot of times, you might be thinking, if I knew it was going to be this hard, I never would have X, Y, Z. I never would have started walking this path. But there's a prosperity here that crowns you. And as everything is shaken, and why it has been shaken, is because you're looking at, what is it that you want? What is it that you need? What is it that's important to you? And what is it that you are chained to that you do not want in your life anymore? Addictions? Again, drugs, alcohol, gambling, those are the main ones, right? That people sit there and they go, oh, those ones are really bad. But then we also have the other addictions that you have meanings for. You have them for sex and food and shopping. But then there are the addictions that people may not even realize they have. The addiction of people pleasing, the addiction of swallowing our words, the addiction of feeling like if I don't fight every single minute, I won't get to where I want to be. And we're looking at the chains that make our lives so much harder. And that's what the devil shows us, the chains that make our lives so much harder. It's like, how am I breaking them? How am I breaking this cycle? And then it's also seeing the way our society tells us, this is what you're supposed to be. Or this is how you're supposed to be. And saying, no, that's not me. Because it takes courage to not conform. And to simply be you, not find, it's Spirit is saying, and this is very interesting, it's not finding another group that says, oh, I don't conform either, but this is the way we all conform together. It is sitting there and saying, but this is me. This is my soul. This is myself. This is me. And then you find people who go, well, this is me too. So it might be a little bit hard to see which groups of people really let yourself be yourself and which groups don't. But you will know it, because you'll feel it. You'll feel as if you're being, kind of, your light feels dimmer in the ones that don't let you be you. And your life feels dimmer when you're surrounded by people who keep you chained. And that is what you're breaking. And that is when you realize that you are the ruler of your destiny and of your world and of yourself. And it is a scary ride. It is. But it is a powerful, beautiful one. And as you're balancing then what you desire from life and the temptations that have tried to knock you off your path, you then claim your throne. And the throne is not perfect. I mean, we're not perfect. We're human. Perfection, it doesn't even enter in there. But we strive to be the best possible us that we can be. And that is where you see the King of Cups coming in. There's a sense of the only person that we rule is ourselves. And that is so hard to understand. That is so hard at times to take in. Because we want to be able to take on, the responsibilities of others. We want to be able to help other people, to guide them forward, to say, oh no, I can, change this and I can change that. We can't change anybody else. We can't. We can give them suggestions. We can help them along their way. But the only person we have true power over and true, it's not control, because even then when we're dealing with ourselves, we don't listen to ourselves. Oh, I'm not going to eat that cookie, eats the cookie. Oh, I'm going to exercise, 30 minutes a day. Exercise is like 15, gets there, but doesn't always, stick to the schedule that we plan for ourselves. And this is what the King of Cups tells us. The only person we rule in this world is ourselves. And even then we have to be kind with that rule. We can't be so dogmatic, so rigid. We have to be able to have the ebb and flow of the waters of emotions around us, to know that we'll have our good days and we'll have our bad days, and that's okay. The King of Cups sits on a rock in the middle of the water. It is implied, yes, that he rules the land behind him, but it is not stated. And yes, it is implied that we rule the world around us, that we can enforce order to it. But a lot of times, we stand in our convictions, we stand in our truth, the embracing of the third chakra here. And then we need a certain amount of flexibility, of elasticity, to move us forward in the way that we want to be, and to not break with rigidity because of it, or not be so malleable that we never know who we are. And that is where the King of Cups stands. It leads you then to God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, giving you a gift for your heart. So when you're looking at things, and when you're looking at what you want and what you desire from life, you see it. You have like this plan right here. It's like, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing, this is what I desire. And then you have it's almost as if Spirit just wanted me to say, you have the Ace of Cups being handed to you. I was like, well, it's not really the Ace of Cups. But if Spirit is saying it is the Ace of Cups, who am I to judge, right? So you're having this gift given to you. And it's a gift that purifies the waters within, purifies the heart of the matter. Because the waters within are our blood, right? And we are talking about the heart right here. And this gift, we would love it to be that fancy gift. That one that's wrapped so absolutely beautifully. The one that is, tied in the prettiest bow. And the one everybody oohs and ahs over. That's not how divinity gives gifts. Divinity gives gifts in a way that we might not even realize that it is a gift being handed. It is looking at what we desire within our hearts, looking at what we want within ourselves, and seeing a gentle whisper forward. And this is going to be the most mundane of cups, the cups that you sit there and you think, oh wow, this, thanks. It could even look more like a bowl. But then you realize that the waters from it are sweet. The way that you're moving forward, the way that the heart is opening, the way that you embrace what you desire, it's sweeter than you had anticipated. And it leads you to the Seven of Wands. It leads you to knowing what you're fighting for. And also it leads you to knowing when not to fight And that's a hard thing, especially with this Tower time, okay? Because with the change that has come in, and as human beings, we kind of like things to stay the same. And we fight change. At least if you're like me, you definitely, fight change. You're like, no, I need things to be back as they were. But we always have this time in our lives where things change. And it makes us see things so much more in depthly, so much more than we had seen them before. And the Seven of Wands is knowing that, yes, people will oppose you. Yes, people will argue with you. People will tell you that you're wrong. And what the power is here is that you stand your ground, you know your truth. But you don't fight everyone. Because if you're giving your energy away in arguments, in, well, you'll see that I'm right, and you'll see that this is the right way, it steals away the power for the present, the power to embrace the change that is coming around you, the power to stand in your truth. Because sometimes, and most of the time, the greatest of warriors in this world are not the ones that can scream the loudest and make the biggest noise. Not the ones that have, all this hoopla around them. They're the ones that stand in their quiet strength and their quiet dignity and hold to their truth. And Sagittarius, that is huge for you. And it doesn't mean everybody else has to look. It means simply that you have to look, see, discover, and be. And it brings you to finding a balance, because it has been hard. Between the spiritual world and the practical world, between what you want for your future and what you want for your present and what you want for your past. Actually, you're forgetting the present, as we so often do. We sit there and we think about the future, we think about the past, and we forget the moments that we have right now. And you're looking at what you desire, you're looking at what you want, you're looking at what you need from your life. And you're finding a balance, you're finding a harmony. But as you're busy balancing everything, and it can be work, and it can be home, it could be the demands of everybody else, and trying to smooth things over, you forget about yourself. And that's where this gift from the cup comes in. Okay? So this gift of the Four of Cups says that, a cup does not have to be fancy. We do not have to be fancy to take in a gift. But we cannot be broken. All right? And if you don't take care of you, if you don't balance you, then the cup is broken. And it will not hold the water, and it will lead to the chaos, and it will lead to the doubts and the fears. So as you break the chains, and as you're balancing everything, make sure that you know that you matter, and make sure that you take time for you to sit back, to breathe, to connect, to understand. And it pulls you inward. It really does. And that may not be a place that you really want to be right now, Sagittarius. You might want to be, kind of swept away by noise, always having, music on, always having something to kind of distract. But there's a need here to turn inward. There's a need here to embrace an emotional power that guides your light forward, that guides you forward to so much more than you expected. It is the light of truth. It is the light of understanding. It is the light of power, of purpose, and it is quiet, and it is singular, and it is beautiful. And it is you. And so here, as you claim your throne for yourself, and you claim the power of your truth, you see you much more truly now. And your heart sees you much more truly now than you have before. You have tried, as we all do, to mold ourselves into what the world wants us to be, into where we're supposed to stand, air quotes around that. And it doesn't always work. Some people do it really well. You can see them, they morph into kind of this different person as they come forward into the world. And they can be a completely different person, when doors are closed. But for you here, Sagittarius, that's not your thing. It's like authentic truth moves you forward, listening to yourself, creating what you want from your life, and crowning yourself with the glory that is you. That's where you are right now. And you can be doing this in a huge way, and you can be doing this in a very quiet, very intimate way. It depends on where you are in your journey and what you have set out to achieve. We have the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands in the public arena, the Six of Wands is being able to celebrate you. And the way I love seeing the Six of Wands is the Six of Wands is like that really good boss that you adore working for, the one who builds you up, the one who, helps with problems, the one who, sits there and really just adds. All right? Makes you feel valued, sits there and kind of can give you that little pat on the back, the good job, and you go off and you achieve and you succeed. Or it can be fighting against and trying to succeed when you have a boss that tells you how worthless you are, how everything that you do, is never enough. You could do all the things that they asked, and you forget one little thing, and they just lay into you. Which boss are you going to work better for? Which one are you going to give your loyalty to? What type of boss are you, Sagittarius, for you? Do you rip into yourself every time that something might go a little bit askew? Do you get angry and upset and just speak to yourself the way you would never dare speak to anybody else, especially in public? This is saying, start to celebrate you. Instead of seeing the job that you do that is well and saying, oh, well, you could have done that better. You could have just pushed a little bit harder. When you've done a good job, you sit there and say, good job, well done. And you move yourself forward. And you move yourself to a much more prosperous way of being because you're giving you recognition. And the place that we start to win, the place that we start to see success is within our own minds. It's within our own minds. That's why the crown is so important. What are you crowning yourself with every single day? My personal crown, if you want to know, is a little circlet with a little purple jewel, teardrop jewel, that hangs from the middle of it over your third eye. Remember, one drop can flood an ocean. And that is important. We think that we don't matter as much. And I know that is definitely something that I fight against myself. It's like, oh, what does it matter? We can become very nihilistic, especially once we've, encountered failures and doubts and fears, and we've had this timeline in our heads, and we haven't gotten there. It's divine timing, not our timing. Because when we get there, divinely guided towards something beautiful, the power around us becomes sweet. It does. And we step into it. We step into it with a power of understanding, because this is what we've been working towards. This is what we've been sculpting the light around us to be. This is embracing prosperity. This is prosperity shining down on us. And it's looking up. And it's remembering how hard you worked to get there. The time, the effort, the craftsmanship, the failures, the time where the glass cracked and you had to start again. The frustration that made you think, I'll never get to a finished project that can crown my cathedral, that can crown my holy sacred space for me, whatever that is for you. Whether that be a stained glass window in a library or in a study where the light shines down on you as you read your journey, as you unfold your story. There's a beauty to you. In the public arena, people are going to want to claim what you have worked for. Let them claim it. Choose your battles wisely. Now, this isn't saying that if you've put your blood, sweat, and tears into something and somebody comes around and says, oh, well, this is my project now. I've absolutely done all this work. Stand up for your truth. This isn't being a doormat. But this is saying, you know what? You can sit there. Like, this is a person, let's say, that walked out when you were younger, comes in and says, wow, you turned out really well. I'm so glad I helped with this. It's like, listen, I'm this despite of you. Despite you, not because of you. And that's the power that you're standing in. And people sit there and they make suggestions and they demand and everything like that. And when you've created, as the craftsman of your life, when you've created something beautiful, they come in and say, oh, that's exactly what I wanted it to be. But they were the first ones to lose faith in you when it took longer than anticipated, when it didn't come out perfect with the first casting. So just know that. Just know that this tower time has let you see where you stand for yourself and what you stand for, and let you see the power that is you. And also the power that are other people. And they might not have the power that you once thought they did. And then we have the Emperor. Now we have the repeat of the number 4 here. And the repeat of the number 4 talks about the body, talks about the home, talks about the self. And so here with this repeat of number 4, you are becoming, honor the temple that is your soul. Honor the temple that is your space. And see what it is that you want. Not for anybody else. But a thing that has been happening to me lately is I was raised by my grandma, my great-grandma, and my mom, right? And my grandma and my great-grandma passed when I was young. Not rather young, I was young. And it was devastating. It was the most devastating thing ever. And when I look at what is important to me, instead of looking at what the rest of the world wants, because there's a large part of me that's like, I don't care. I don't care what the rest of the world wants. And it's taking years upon years to get there. But it's looking and saying, well, what would this mean to my grandparents? What would this mean to those closest to me? What will this mean to my sacredness of self? And that is what I'm seeing here for you. Instead of it being for everybody else, it's like, what would this mean for the sacredness of me? For those who have forged me and stood by me? And that's what you're seeing here with the Emperor. You're claiming that throne. You're claiming what you desire. You're claiming what it is that you want. You've messed up. You've fallen along the way. Most definitely, we all have. To different extents, yes. We have all fallen into our addictions, addicted to fear, anxiety, doubt. Things that have held us back and sat there and made us think, I'm just not worthy of this. What makes you think that the person over there, achieving and succeeding is worthy of the success that they are getting? What makes you know that they didn't get there through lying and cheating and stealing? You don't know. You don't know what happens when doors are closed and when people are genuinely themselves. You don't know. We like to think we know. We make up stories, but we don't know. And so here, this is claiming your throne. I always love seeing the Emperor like King David in the Old Testament in the Torah. He wasn't perfect. He wasn't. But my goodness, he strove for that perfection. He strove to be so much more than the limitations that are human. And that is what you're doing. It's claiming your throne. Now, it can also be here, you're balancing your world and you're claiming your truth away from a patriarchal figure, okay? A father-like figure that had negativity to speak over you, that kept you held down, that kept you silent. And as you're moving forward in your truth, you're seeing that you are now that power. You are now that voice. And you can move forward towards where you want to be, not held back anymore. And that is your justice. That is the cutting through the doubts and the fears, the balancing the scales upon this earthly world and saying, this is me. This is what I want for my life. And this is what I desire. There's truth coming in. And it doesn't have to be the justice in the sense of, everybody else knows. It can simply be a justice within your soul. It's like you do not get to have that power over me anymore. I do not get to feel as if my world is always going to fall apart. I'm just holding my breath, waiting for that next shoe to drop. It's like, no. I am creating and embracing the justice that I want. And people are taking note of you because of the strength that you are exuding of self and of soul, because the way that you stand, the way that you hold yourself, head high, stand up straight, shoulders back. Do not give others your power. You're going to be getting gifts that really do mean the world to you. And they're going to be, in the most unlikely way, handed forward. So let's see here. Let's go deeper. Sagittarius. October 1st to the 15th, 2020, Sagittarius. October 1st to the 15th, 2020, Sagittarius. October 1st to the 15th, 2020, Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. And then let's see the people that you are to be mindful of during this time. Who are the people that Sagittarius is to be mindful of? October 1st to the 15th, 2020, Sagittarius. Who are the people that Sagittarius is to be mindful of? October 1st to the 15th, Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. So we start here with the Queen of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is going to be somebody who comes across very haughty, all right? Somebody who, okay, they're really focusing on the journey of themselves. And this can also be somebody who's very sharp, very judgmental, very cutting with their words, all right? And can only see their world themselves and does not have that compassion. I'm seeing somebody who has fought for so long, they don't know how not to fight. And they come to things very combative, very angry. This then leads you to the High Priest. This is a Hierophant energy, a Taurus energy. Hierophant in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, a time frame of April 20th to May 20th. The Queen of Swords is an air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I don't know if I said that before. And this is going to be somebody very stubborn, very thick-headed, very determined, very dedicated for what they want and where they're headed. Right? There is a sense that, yeah, they're just going to be like, this is the way it is. And that's that. It's like, buck it up and do it. And so they're not going to have that give there that you really want from them. They're going to just be pushing forward, pushing forward, pushing forward. And you're not even sure the way that they're pushing forward is right for you. And then you have the Hermit. So you have a really good Virgo energy and you have a negative Virgo energy. This is somebody who's too self-absorbed. They can only see what is happening to them. That's it. Period. End of discussion. They're in their own world and they have a tendency to make things much more intense and much bigger than they actually are. Instead of sitting there and saying, okay, I'm going to solve this problem, they sit there and they say, this is my whole entire world. And nobody's world is quite as important as mine. Virgo energy, time frame, August 23rd to September 22nd. So let's see what Spirit has to say here. Nine of Swords, yeah, nightmares. As prosperity comes and as you face this tower time, you face this change, nightmares come forward. It's like worry, doubt, fear, being way too much in your own head, robbed of sleep because of anxiety, because of how hard you're working. And then we have justice again coming forward over the devil. So there is this sense of justice and balance and a balancing of the scales. There you are, the King of Wands over the King of Cups. So as you rule your emotions, as you rule your own world, the only person you can rule over, you have you coming through as a king. So you are a true king during this time, a king on top of a king. Here, the heart and the passion, the power, the beauty, the truth. This is the reason you get out of bed in the morning. This is what you're moving towards. This is what you want from life. You have the Tower again when it comes to your heart, with the gifts being handed and the way that you stand up for yourself. It's like, I'm going to fight because you know what it is to have lost it. You know, to have lost something that was either very dear to you or to have lost it all. To sit there and just, it's that horrified, like, wide-eyedness when everything that you have worked for, everything that you thought defined you, falls apart and isn't. And here it is looking at that, and it's looking at this tower emotionally, the change that you are going through. And it's like, okay, it's rocking my world, because it really is rocking your world. But you find a balance. When there is this discord of balance here with the Two of Pentacles, you then have temperance, you have balance over it. And this is the essence of you in the major arcana. Okay, this is you, Sagittarius, in the major arcana. And you have that justice, you have that balance coming in. And that is astounding. And it leads you to a resurrection. It's actually, if you weren't forced to look at things so differently, you would never have found that true balance within yourself, that serenity that you're going for. And it really connects you with your angels and your spirit guides in a way that is astounding. And as you move forward and you start to celebrate you and you see everything that you have crafted and everything that you have want, there's prosperity, there's a sense of bounty and brilliance and truth and power. And as you claim that power, it moves you forward. It opens up the world to you. And then at your roots, as justice comes, you have that celebration of the Six of Wands. You have that celebration of what you desire, what you want, and what you need coming forward. And you start seeing the power and the purpose that is you. And that opens up your world. You have 2 9s right here. The 9 before, in your inner self, when you're looking at this Tower time, you're looking at, the doubts, the fears, the negativity. In the public arena, it has brought you towards wealth. It has brought you towards prosperity. It has brought you towards something that you might not even have been able to imagine before, because it's so changing. It's so changing your reality. So with the 9 of Swords, beware nightmares. Beware, sitting there and saying, oh my gosh, this is going to be the same exact thing. I know what I have been through before, and it's going to happen again. It's like that next shoe dropping. It's that weight coming upon your shoulders that will never leave. It's like, no, that's not me. I'm taking in the blessing. I'm moving with the change. And I'm not going to be in doubt and fear and anger and upset anymore. We will still be afraid. Fear is what keeps us alive. We're programmed to look at things and say, well, that makes me afraid, and I don't want to do that. We're programmed to stay in comfort. Because back, once upon a time, and not that long ago, that's what kept us safe. Okay? We knew what fear was, and as we know what fear is now. But the fear was different. The fear was the fear of survival. And you might say, okay, this is survival now. In a lot of circumstances, it's not, it's not the fear of not being, chased by a bear. It's not the fear of, eating the wrong berries, stuff like that. And we have the fear today that can build and build and build, because we don't actually know really how to deal with the anxiety fear that is around us, with the more and more that is presented to us, and yet also that is causing us to question ourselves, to move forward. It's kind of here, you're getting back to basics. You're getting back to what you truly want and what you truly need. And you're looking at you. And you're looking at kind of the fears that you have. You're not kind of, but you're looking at the fears that you have and saying, okay, one by one, I'm getting this done. And I'm moving away from thinking that everything can fall apart so easily. And that brings a justice to you. It might be making, for some of you Sagittarians, there we go, it's making big changes. It can be making very big changes to say, I'm making sure that the nightmares, the fears that I have lived through, do not get to so easily come again. And it brings you to justice. It brings you to a finding your truth. It brings you to sitting there and saying, okay, world, you can tell me that I'm supposed to need, this and that, and I'm supposed to be like this, and I'm supposed to be like that. But that's not my truth. And it never was. And you find that justice. You find that balance. And it moves you forward to being a king. A king of your passion, a king of what you desire, a king of where you stand. And your heart says, I'm out of my comfort zone. Definitely. But I'm learning what I'm fighting for. And I'm learning that divinity is handing me gifts that are quite impactful, quite profound. And it brings you to finding that balance. Temperance is balance. Of the day and the night, the masculine and the feminine, of what you desire and what you need. And it has your angels with you in a profound way. As you turn inward, as you look at what's important to you, your angels call you to a resurrection of soul, of self, and of what you desire from life. And as you rise in the public arena, you have prosperity around you, wishes granted, you have bounty coming forward. But this is also saying, don't, kind of count your chickens before they're hatched. Make sure that you are nurturing your harvest, that you are nurturing the prosperity that is moving you forward. The world opens. The world opens because there is a fierceness to you, a determination of claiming what the world has to offer you, of opening those doors that you once felt barred from, that once you thought, it's never going to happen. I'm never going to be able to move forward the way I want to. It's looking at things differently. It's saying, okay, well, this road didn't work. I'll try this one. And it's saying, okay, it's the road less traveled that I'm going after. It's not going to be like everybody else. There's going to be a uniqueness to the prosperity that you are embracing. And it's not, Rockefeller's success, okay? It's not thousands upon millions upon billions of dollars, falling into your lap. It is a success that brings happiness, that brings contentment, that brings a steadiness into your life. Studies have shown, and what I think is so cool, is studies have shown that once you can pay your bills and, not have debt and anxiety hanging over your head, the quality of life doesn't change the more money you bring in. Now, in the world standard, not the world, but in the standard of the study, it was $40,000. That is what you needed to obtain maximum happiness. Now, you might be saying, where I live, $40,000 would not go for, and stuff like that. And that could be where that big change is coming in. To look at your life, to look at what you want, and say, you know what? I'm making things happen for me. I'm opening up the doors. Nothing falls into our laps. It doesn't. And when it does, it falls into our laps in such an odd way that it doesn't even seem like a gift. This is opening up the doors. This is claiming your world. It's doing so with ferocity, and then it's celebrating. It's celebrating the justice, the balance, the truth that you are walking into. And it's knowing that you deserve it. You do. Let's see what your subconscious, let's see what your spirit animal message is. Sagittarius, October 1st to 15th, 2020, Sagittarius. October 1st to 15th, 2020, Sagittarius. October 1st to 15th, 2020, Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Ooh, fantastic, these two. Now, the cool thing about the spirit animal message is that if you see these animals in the wild or you see an image of them, these are your angels and your spirit guides tapping you on the shoulders, Sagittarius, saying, remember this message. So let's see. So we have the horse spirit. Freedom is yours. It's the freedom to live your truth, your power, what you desire from life. Freedom is yours. And then it's the eagle spirit. Spirit has your back because it can see further and understand more than we ever can. Remember, spirit has your back. Your subconscious spirit animal message is the butterfly spirit. Transformation is beautiful. The transformation you are going through is beautiful. And you're stepping out of the rubble of the past. You're stepping out of the fears and the anxiety, and you're claiming something so much more. Subconscious people message is the King of Swords. Air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay, it's the mind. It's knowing what you want. It's the warrior king. And what's cool about air sign energy is air sign energy, of course, feeds fire. So there's this power of the mind that is feeding your passion. Don't get swept away with it, because you are going to really be embracing it. And that's what the people who are aiding you are saying. Don't get swept away with it too much. But know that you are moving towards this power and this truth. You have a very sacred masculine energy around you, okay, with the kings here. There is a sense of not feeling like you can move as freely as you would want to, okay? There can be responsibilities that have you restricted. I am a firm believer in responsibilities, okay? I believe they're good for us. But that is also a king. A king cannot move as freely as others can, because their face is on a coin, because they, are too valuable, whatever it is. But you're going to feel here at times that you cannot move as freely as you want to. It usually comes from responsibilities or from ideas, and it's like, I'm not there yet. How can I push forward to be there? So you're looking at the King of Swords here, and this passion, this fiery energy, okay, this knowledge, this truth is being embraced by you. Your subconscious chakra message is inspiration, the sacral chakra. New dawn, new day, embracing your inspiration. It leads you then to your subconscious tarot message, which is the Queen of Swords. Air sign energy once again, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You cut through doubts and fears. The warrior queen energy subconsciously is really calling to you. This this air sign energy is very much a part of you. If you have this in your chart, it's really coming out. But this is also your mind is brilliant during this time. The way that you're looking at things, the way that you're seeing things, what you desire for yourself. And it's a not backing down energy that is around you. It's, this is my truth. This is my passion. This is what I'm going after. And there's a stubborn determination to you during this time. And there's usually a stubborn determination to you, Sagittarius, but it's being fed just a bit more. And then to go deeper into the subconscious message, we have the Magician. The Magician. So, as above, so below, as you think it, so it becomes. You're claiming your elemental power and truth. You're claiming your passion, your desire, and the way that you want to move forward. There's magic in your world. And usually we overlook it. There's magic in our existence, but we go everywhere else to find our truth. Brahma said, I hide the God's head within man, because that is the one place he will not look for it. And that is where we have to start, proving everybody wrong. Look for it internally. See that and understand that stardust runs through your veins, that you are a part of the universe, and the universe is a part of you. Look at the greatness around you. It might be hard to see, but there's light, there's beauty, there's truth that moves you in a way that is spectacular. It is claiming what it is that you want. And there is a publicness to you. There is an openness, there is a sense that people are seeing you in such a profound way as you stand before the altar of your existence. And as you are a warrior for your truth. All right, Sagittarius, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we move forward through change to beauty, to a conquest of the trials and the tribulations stacked against us, to a claiming of our crown, to a crowning of ourselves in power and in brilliance, and an opening of the world to us in ways that we hadn't imagined, but in ways that we are celebrating. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Sagittarius.